Now, let us look at how King Tut was scanned and what were the results of the CT scan. King Tutankhamun is only one of the hundreds of mummies found in the land of Egypt. The Egyptian Mummy Project started an inventory in late 2003, which has recorded almost 600 mummies in the land of Egypt and is still counting. The Egyptian Mummy Project used forensic techniques to study both royal and non-royal mummies. After recording 600 mummies, the next step is that to be taken to CT scan all of them with the help of a portable CT machine donated to the Supreme Council of Antiquities by National Geographic Society, and Siemens was the manufacturer of the CT scan machine. King Tut is the first mummy to be scanned, advancing before his countrymen to come in contact with such an advanced technology. Tutankhamun, better known as King Tut, is the 18th dynasty pharaoh who inherited the throne at a very young age. Just as he was celebrated as a leading figure when he was alive during his reign, he remained so even after his death by being the first mummy to be scanned and hence moving regally ahead of his countrymen. The examination is part of a research project being conducted by Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities using Siemens Somatum Emotion 6 scanner installed on a trailer. On January 2005, a CT scan was performed on the mummy of King Tut. Advances in technology have improved forensic analysis significantly. The scanning allowed for accurate forensic reconstruction of the body and face, as well as further evidence of his cause of death. It was the first time since the mummy's discovery in 1925 that it had been removed from its resting place in the Valley of the Kings. The CT machine scanned Tut's mummy from head to toe, and it created 1,700 digital X-ray images in clear manner that aim at answering many of the mysteries that shrouded his life and death, including his royal lineage, his exact age at the time of his death, and the reason he died. King Tutankhamun's mummy was scanned under the supervision of Sahi Hawass, Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities. You can see some of the pictures in the slide. As we have studied earlier, that with the help of CT machine, hundreds of X-rays can put together to create a 3D virtual body. Tut's head was scanned in 0.62 millimeter slices and was able to show the fine details of the head. Street's descriptions of the resulting image of the head of Tut visible through CT scan, as you can see it in the picture. The whole body of King Tut was scanned in a similar manner, and a team of specialists that consist of radiology, forensics, anatomy examined the body to note down the accurate details and to inquire about the secrets that had been protected by the winged goddess of a gilded burial shrine so long. The winged goddess protected the gilded burial shrine for so long is a part of ancient Egyptian belief when they buried the mummy. On the night of the scanning, King Tutankhamun was removed from his tomb for the first time. The team of researchers and the workers lifted the fragile remains still resting in the tray of sand which had been placed by Carter's team from his resting place inside the innermost and sarcophagus of the king. Like pallbearers, the one who carried the dead body. Pallbearer means the one who carried the dead body. They were holding the body of King Tut, and they climbed up the stairs outside the tomb. As the tomb was 26 feet below the ground, and when they came outside the tomb, there was swirling sand outside due to the fast-blowing wind. As we have studied in the very first part about the weather outside, there were angry dust devils when Tutankhamun was removed from his body. And then They rose the body on a hydraulic lift and then into a trailer that held the scanner. As soon as they put the body into the scanner, the $1 million scanning machine had stopped working because the sand got into the cooler, and the two men came running as they wanted a substitute fence to finish the scanning process. The guard jokingly remarked, "Curse of the Pharaoh." What is the curse of the Pharaoh? That states that the death or misfortune would fall upon those who disturbed him. Whether the mummy's curse is fact or fiction, it seems to interest people even today. Eventually, the substitute 2 plastic fence became very useful as it worked well, and the researchers finished the scanning process. As soon as all the hurdles were crossed, the technicians were satisfied because no data had been lost. After the scanning was done, and after 3 hours, Tut's mummy was again taken back to his tomb, where he had rested for so many years. Even today, you can see Tutankhamun's mummy, which remains on display within his tomb in the Valley of the Kings, in his original burial chamber. Now his layered coffin, means his outer coffin, was replaced with a climate-controlled glass box. Now, after the CT scan was done, what were the results of the CT scan? The current investigation was designed to look for additional details that earlier investigators might have missed. In this, it was extremely successful, means the CT scan was extremely successful. There were surprising images of King Tut's entire body, and the technicians was pulling up the images of Tut on a computer screen as they are very clear and accurate. We can say that the scanners can scan even an intricate structure by scanning it in thin slices. The researchers could see the three-dimensional images of King Tut's grey head, and the technicians spun and tilted in every direction to get more information. Neckbone appeared very clearly as like in anatomy class. Now, what is anatomy? Anatomy is a branch of science concerned with the bodily structure of human. Different parts of the body were clearly visible, including several views of the ribcage and section of the skull. The CT scan provided precise data for an accurate forensic reconstruction of the king.